Alright, Algebra 2, listen to me. I'm going to tell you how to find the inverse of a graph, okay? I'm going to show you how to do this. Together we're going to accomplish many great things, but we need you to make sure you listen, alright? So, let's look at this graph here. Well, one of the things that we should notice is, first of all, we have this graph and we have this line here. We want to find the inverse of this basically graph that I'm giving you. Well, one of the things that we could do is very similar. Is we know how to find the inverse of a table. We switch the x and y values. So, first thing we're going to do is let's just make a table of this function right over here. Oops. Let's make a table of this function right here, right? This solid line. Let's graph it. So, sorry, I meant to say let's plot the points. All right, we have this point right here, which is -2, 1. So we have -2, 1. All right, the next point is right there. We have -1, 2, and we have the next point, -1, 2, and our next point is 0, 3, which is right there. All right, so now let's find the inverse of this table. All we do is we switch our y and x values, right? We switch our x and y values. So this is going to be 1, -2, 2, -1, and this is 3, 0. As you see, all I've done is I put this on this side and this over on this side. And you can see that right over here. All right. Now let's graph our new function. Let's just graph it. So when we have 1, -2, we have this dot right there. All right. Now we go to 2, -1. So 2 is right over here, and then -1 down over here. So -1 here. All right, let's connect our dots. Perfect. Now we have 3, 0. There we go. So now we got our inverse function. There it is. The inverse of this solid line is right here. We just drew it. All we did was make the x and y table of our original function, and then we made the inverse table and we plotted it. One of the things that we went over in class is this actually, if you look, is like mirror reflections, right? They're mirror reflections over. Okay, I know I didn't draw that very nicely, but all it's saying is this function here is reflecting over this line to go right here, right? They're like mirror images of each other. And if you notice, right, let's look here. If we go from here to here, all right, this is about 1. We go about 1, right? One block and then another and a half a block. Well, we go half a block here and then 1 block and we get there. You see that they're the same distance from each other. And we can do that at any point. Here it's 1.5, and then over here it's 1.5. So if you notice, they're mirror reflections over the y is equal to x line. All right? So we can do that. We can use that observation to help us out in this next problem. All right, let's look over this problem here. All right. Well, one of the things that we know is that it's going to reflect over. It's going to reflect over the y equals x line. All right. Okay. So what that means is, well, let's find what the distance is from here to there. So we go 1, 2, and 2.5. If you notice, there's 1, and then there's 1 here, and then there's basically a half there. Right, this whole distance here is we go 1, 2.5. Therefore, we can go a half and then 1, 2. So the point has to be right there, right? And we can do this. Now we can use this point here. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. So we go 1, 2, 3. And we have this point right there. And so we just can connect it now, right? Let me go ahead and do this here. We go ahead and connect these. There it is. Okay, I'll use a different color. Why not? There we go. All right, and now we have this right here, which is 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2.5, I meant. And then we have half, 1, 2. So our dot is right there, and we can connect it. All right, and so our function, our inverse function, is going to be this right here, which you can see reflects over the y equals x line and is a mirror image and the same distance from our original function here, right? So that's one way to do it. Let's go ahead and do it the way we did it before. All right, so one of the things that we did before was we made a table of our original function. All right, so let's plot this point there. This is -4, 1. Let's plot this point here, which is -3, 3. All right, -3, 3. And now let's plot this point right there, which is -1, 4. Okay, now all we do is we make the inverse table, we swap the x and the y values, all right, just like we've done with tables. 1, -4, 3, -3, and 4, -1. So 1, -4 is down here. 3, -3 is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these. And then 4, -1, which is right there. And I'll connect this here. All right. Now, if you notice, this is the exact same thing that we got before when we did the other method. All right. And so it's up to you to decide which method you prefer. All right. But you can notice here, it's just a reflection over, right? This original function there is a reflection over the y equals, the y equals x line here. Perfect. All right. Hopefully this helps to teach you how to find the inverse of a graph. Thank you.